Okay, time to take a sidestep and get into another board game. As you can see, this is called Dragonfire. So this one is much, I would say, much more in depth than compared to Hero Quest, but each one is good nonetheless. So as you can see, we get our usual punch outs and everything, and got some that have already gotten punched out. We do have like our quick reference guide on here. Pretty much beginning your adventure. So pretty much it talks about how to build new decks, objective of the game, the setup, character screen, and then it gives like descriptions, and then it pretty much goes in depth on this or not in depth, but quick stat rules and stuff like that. Pretty much to be able to get you quickly into the game and everything. So kind of giving people enough time to be able to pause to be able to read the stuff real quick and everything with each sheet and everything. So then we get into even further into this one. So as you can see, quick reference is like it says quick, and so you can see it's set in the premise the Sword Coast and Forgotten Realms. So now we got the actual in a sense you could call this flyer for Dragonfire. Flyer, Dragonfire. Say that 5 times fast. Now we actually have the actual rule book, so that goes much. This goes much into much more depth than the quick start, your pretty much quick start rules right here. So this one gets you right into the game if you want to open this box and immediately get started and everything. So you might be at your gaming store and you see this and you have a group of your friends and oh, hey, look, let's bring this home and pull this out, and this is a quick way to start. Then you can actually get into in your spare time when you're not playing, get into this and everything. So this, as you can see, actually does the actual deep delve into the actual rules for the game. So I'll do the usual back and forth to be able to give people time to be able to pause and read this stuff. So as you can see, this is very much more in depth than a Hero Quest is. So you could, in a sense, with the cards you get and everything, you could quite possibly consider this a card game as well. So almost like a board game card game hybrid. So kind of going through this rule book, kind of back and forth usual, so that way people have time to I keep reiterating, stop and pause and be able to read. So now it would take too long for me to actually sit here and read every single page of this. I would probably end up having a 5-hour video if I were to do that. But by doing this back and forth, I give you the viewer time to be able to pause and be able to do a quick read through of this rule book. I was pulling myself ahead a couple pages there. So as you can see, this rulebook is actually very in-depth on how to play and everything. So you pretty much have all you need to be able to play in this box. Now, I did pick up a couple expansions for this as well. So there are at least a couple expansions where you actually get some extra cards and stuff in the expansion, so you can in a sense build out that deck that you used for this. And that is the rule book. We've got a nice nifty beholder picture on the back. So as you can see, you got this nifty little, in a sense, campaign book here that lets you, in a sense, run a actual campaign using this box set. So I have done Warriors of Krynn box set too, so you could see it's something akin to that as well. But what's different is that you're not using actual miniatures or tokens, you're using cards. So that's where this differs from Warriors of Krynn. And of course, Hero Quest is just pretty much your board and your miniatures. Now you do have your hero cards and stuff, but as you can see, this one is much more in depth. So if you want to get this, in a sense, be able to do a compare and contrast, go back to the videos I've done of Hero Quest to get kind of that reference. Now we go through actual hero cards. You're and gives you all information that you need for your character pretty much on each side. And like you got your different characters, and you got good old reference, kind of like a short reference card. You got like stickers that you can use for like different types of characters in there as well. Another like a reference card for different adventure level 2. And this little nifty adventure environment card. And we got more stickers right here. There's quite, as you can see, there's quite a lot of them. Then in like a nifty bag, we got even more cards for like adventures. So as I pulled those out, you can see the first one I showed was level 2. So we got level 1, then we got level 2, we got level 3, 4, another level 2, level 1, 2, 2. So like you got different like in a sense adventures you can run through. You got like little like tokens and stuff that you can use to like for this game. And as you can see, we now have a slew of different characters that you can play as, and you're pretty much building a deck around each of these characters, or like you could quite possibly do a group of characters too. So kind of quickly go through all these characters. Pretty much like your iconic characters from like your PHB. You'll find like if you go to the player's handbook, you'll see like a lot of these characters in like class descriptions for like wizards and like fighters and monks and stuff like that. So they're kind of in a sense pulling artwork from there. Now, not all these are from the player's handbook. Like for instance, like your character here, this picture for like a fighter in the PHB. So, but you do have some from there, but not all. And, got even more tokens that were punched out. Now we get into the actual cards and everything. So like start with these cards. You can see like different like abilities that and items and stuff that you can use. Like I said, different abilities and like different stuff that you can use. Then we get into this pile, like pretty much like you could say this is like your magic that you use for your spellcasters, or the abilities, like for instance like your rogues, and then stuff for like your paladin. And it gives like a nice description there. And of course, like the background is actual Dragonfire, so each one has what it is, like a basic description, what it is, and like a kind of like a quote or whatever. And we get into like even more cards, like kind of like enemies that you can fight. So pretty much like almost you could say pulled right from the monsters manual itself, with like these different monsters, and like you could also see different kind of characters and stuff that like recently, like that was kind of cool. Is I recently did a Big Bad Evil Guy video on the Rakshasa, so he makes his appearance here. So like go check out that video as well if like you're interested in Big Bad Evil Guys. And of course, speaking of Big Bad Evil Guys, everyone can remember Strahd from the Curse of Strahd adventure game. So like I played through that as a player, but not as a DM, and I found it quite fun. So now we actually get into like more, like in a sense, items that more cards, but like items here for cards. I want to put these back so it makes cleanup that much easier as we go through. We got even more monsters and ability right there. So see here. Let's go through this big pile I got. All right, let's see here. As I'm fumbling through these cards to kind of like even more monsters. Now I did mix in like the 2 expansions that I got for this, so I kind of got like mixed and matched. So like more abilities, magic, as I'm kind of like screwing the pooch on this and everything. You can see like they got pulled artwork directly from the PHB, so and this is from the PHB, this artwork. So is this and everything. They get all the Intimidate and everything. So they did pull some artwork right from the player's handbook itself. So now we go through this pile. So more incense monsters and that we can get through. So like I said, and I'll reiterate, I put in the 2 expansion packs in this that I was able to, that I bought first, and then like, okay, I'll get the this eventually, and here it is. So this is the actual game plus 2 expansions. So as you can see, we continue with the artwork directly from like the player's handbook with like this cantrip. And so like it was kind of cool. Like you could say that's kind of cool, but you could also say it's kind of lazy. Like, hey, you didn't come up with your own artwork or whatever for this game, but like, but it is a D&D based board game, so that's kind of like why they pulled some of the artwork. So like, I kind of like it in the sense like that, so that way you can be like, oh hey, yeah, look, I actually remember this from the actual player's handbook and everything. So we kind of like can pull in stuff from the actual like TTRPG itself and everything, and not have like these 2 completely separate and different and everything. So as you can see, cleanup is relatively easy as long as we keep this the plastic part in there. Makes it nice and quick and painless to be able to. Now, yeah, of course I got that demo sticker on it because like I was actually able to get this relatively cheap because the store owner got this as a demo, so he was able to pass on the savings to me and everything. So that's how I got this relatively cheap and everything. So I want to say it's probably like most board games probably about like $100 and everything, but like he got it for like 60% off, and like he like I said, passed that on to me, so I got this for probably like 30 or 40 bucks and everything. But most board games, it seems, are, at least for bases like this, are around like $100, and like Hero Quest itself is like a prime example of that. So board games like this can be kind of expensive to get into, but like if you divide that by all the hours that you end up playing with people and everything, it actually is quite a good investment, because like just like TTRPGs with like D&D, you can have campaigns that run several sessions over several months, if not years and everything. So like $100 paled in comparison to the countless hours that you're going to have fun. It's kind of like a good investment. So this is yet another board game that I've gotten, and like I'll probably introduce to my group of like my D&D group, and hey, look, here's something different we can try, maybe incorporate into our next campaign as well. So not only does that like this double is a single use as a board game, but it doubles as a pretty much fodder for D&D campaigns, because you can use this as like ideas to kind of like a springboard into current campaigns, or maybe get into like the next one that you quite possibly do. You could homebrew your own ones and not necessarily use one of the adventure sets like one of the many ones that I've gone over so far. So here is the board game Dragonfire, and I would say this is one of the better ones that are out there. So now Warriors of Krynn I do like, but like it was released during the time of like the French OGL scandal, so that kind of flopped everything. But like I don't think board games like this get like enough attention. So here is yet another one for you to get into. So always check out your local gaming stores for stuff like this. Check out for not only be able to purchase something like this, but see if you can find groups as well. So don't hesitate to get into something like this, and let the countless battles emerge from this game.